Hello, I am Brian Lamar, and you are listening to me talk. So, I have been thinking. I've been thinking a lot about the police, as is a lot of the country right now. I went to a protest on the 30th of May 2020 in Seattle on 5th and Cherry, and I had an interesting experience before. See, as I was about to leave the house, my daughter asked me where I was going, and I told her I was going to a protest. I didn't tell her what the protest was for at first, but she is curious, as 4-year-olds are, and she asked me what it was about, and I told her that it was a bad man did a bad thing to someone and he shouldn't have done that. And she says, well, doesn't he get in trouble? And I tell her, sometimes, but not all the time. And we need to go out and make sure that we get him in trouble because he can't do bad things in his position. I figured that this would be something that was best discussed over breakfast. So I poured us some cereal and sat down. And then I had to explain that the bad person was a police officer. And I could see the puzzled look on her face as she asked me, Daddy, are the police bad? It's a pretty crazy question to get from your 4-year-old, but a fair one. And I tell her that some police are bad and some are good. Police are just like people. Some people are bad and some people are good. But bad people shouldn't be police officers. And then she asked me, well, how do I know if it's a bad policeman? And I told her, well, you don't quite know if it's bad or if they're good. So we try not to interact with the police as much as possible. See, I worry for my daughter because she's half black and half white, with olive skin, green eyes, and curly hair. And people think that mixed kids are cute. But eventually she won't be a kid anymore. So she needs to know early how to see the police. That's what this means. I was taught about the police at an early age from my father, and he taught me how to get pulled over. And I don't think I was old enough to even really be thinking about getting a learner's permit. Actually, the first time I got pulled over by the police, I was 15 and walking to work. It was a Starbucks. A lot of people don't understand what that sort of thing feels like. And so I've written a poem to share with you who are listening. It's something that I wrote about the experience, looking back at it, in hopes that by sharing it, I can give people a small window into a common experience. The morning is dark. Get dressed in a daze. Put on that Starbucks green apron, 'cause you gots to get paid. Out the door with headphones on, music loud plays the blues. Mile and a half to work. Walk fast. Sun's up soon. Round the corner, cross the highway, just like the day before. Past the golf course, but I'm being followed. I wonder what's in store. First lights, then sirens. What the hell is this? Am I really getting pulled over? Walking in a Starbucks apron, 5 in the morning. Bullshit. Good morning, officer. How can I help you? What seems to be the problem? I'm just walking to work, but I got a feeling you're about to solve it. He was just driving by, noticed I look like a suspect. The crime, he's unsure, happened a ways away, so I might not have heard it. I don't know if being black is enough to cause a stop and frisk, but I saw him see my dark body, and he was about to put his white hands all over it. Like a deer on a hood, he had my hands spread real good. Legs spread too. Back arched. His leg inside of mine. He starts. In 15 years, never been touched like this. He whispers what he's gonna do in my ear. It's intimate. He starts low and slow, then works his way up the sides, starts rolling his hands in. When he gets to the thighs, uncomfortable, I shuffle. He tells me to keep still. Walking in a Starbucks apron, 5 in the morning, bullshit. Is this real? Still on my waist, my does he linger. Hands slide in my pockets. I can feel his fingers. He continues up my body, past my stomach to my chest. Moved his hands past my collar. Now his hands are around my neck. Head down, ashamed. I see the cars drive by. I'm done, he exclaims, and I see his sly smile. Half a mile still to go. Walk the rest of the way. Walking in a Starbucks apron. 5:30 in the morning, bullshit. Hell of a way to start my day. I remembered this as I talked to my daughter about the police. And then she gave me a big hug, and I went off to the protest. It was relieving to share in mourning, misery, disgust, and outrage. And it was great to see the amount of people who still came out to support. These were the sounds.
Thon, a 21-year-old Native American who was shot and killed by Officer Spaulding. Alonzo Price Holt, a young man that was experiencing mental health issues. John T. Williams, a renowned wood carver who was shot and killed by Ian Bird. This list is complete. We're not able to honor all of the lives taken, but it's bigger than just what happened in George Floyd. You need to be a part of this movement. Get involved. We can no longer stand silent. If you stand silent, you are just like those other 3 officers.
So it's time to march. Amplify the message. Review the records of people before we elect them into office. It is time for us as a country to hold the people that govern and police us accountable. I am Brian Lamar, and you have been listening to me talk. Stay thoughtful, and God bless America.